morning, everybody. How's it going? It's got to feel good. I'm answering their question for them. It's got to feel good.
Yeah.
What's not to feel great, you know, when you have temperatures like this expected for the entire week?
Yes, yes. Going to warm up nicely through the week. Let's jump into it and talk about it. Yeah, jump in. Yeah. Well, we got to get the bad news out first. That's the pollen. Yeah, it's out of control as usual, the tree pollen. 'Tis the season for the tree pollen. We got plenty of that oak and pine pollen. It's in the very high category for today. And as we move through the spring season, we're starting to get a little bit more grass pollen. It's in the moderate category, and it'll be later this summer when we get into the weed pollen, but there's enough of that tree pollen to go around. Take a look at the morning lows all over the scope this morning. Some areas chilling into the 30s. Martinsville went down to 32 and 34 in Reedsville, Danville at 35. Even Burlington going down to 38, 36 in Siler City. Sanford at 35, but 40 in Asheboro, 38 the low in Lexington, 42 in Winston-Salem and in Greensboro. Mount Airy went down to 37, 34 was the low in Wilkesboro this morning. Look at this blue sky over Burlington. Now for the better part of the day, we're going to see plenty of sunshine. Late in the afternoon and overnight tonight, we're going to see some high-level clouds streak in. Little upper-level disturbance will move through the area tonight. I don't expect it to produce any rain. It's just going to stir up some clouds later on today. Current temperature in Burlington at 39, but the temperatures are moving up with abundant sunshine across the area this morning. The big weather story this week is the nice warm-up. Warm temperatures have been building over the southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley. I'll say Dallas will be up around 90 today. Low 80s, Jackson, Mississippi, and we'll be close to 80. I think a few of our warmer spots may crack 80 today. If you don't do it today, you have every opportunity to do it tomorrow and Wednesday. Now, 80-degree weather means that we're going to be running about 10 degrees above our normal high of 70. So, yeah. Enjoy. High pressure moving off the East Coast. A warm front this morning right near the Virginia-North Carolina border will lift on to the north this afternoon. It's kind of the dividing line between the chilly air that we had this weekend and southwesterly breezes that are bringing in the warmer air from the south. So that warm front moves on to the north. Cold front approaches from the west, but it's going to wash out and likely dissipate before it moves here. It may produce a few showers over the mountains of Virginia and North Carolina on Tuesday, but another cold front will move our way as we go into the day on Thursday, and that'll bring a few showers Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. In the meantime, warming up and dry. Upper 70s today. Tonight we'll be into the low 50s with some extra clouds. Around 80 Tuesday and Wednesday. Upper 70s on Thursday. Little extra cloud cover, but not a whopping chance of rain on Thursday. There'll be a few afternoon showers around. We're back to dry weather on Friday. We'll keep an eye on the weekend a little bit down the road, so we don't have this one pinned down yet, but we could see a small shower chance on Saturday and Sunday, and we'll update that, of course, as we head through the week.
All right, so of course the forecast calls for cheers, excitement, pure joy is streaming through my system right now.
Yes.
Today's warm weather brings us to this question. What is your idea of a perfect spring day or perfect spring temperatures? I posted this question on my Facebook page, got plenty of answers. Gloria said, give me between 75 and 80 and I'm good to go with my flip-flops and knee knockers. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Ramona said anything above 70 degrees. May said give me 70 to 80 consistently. And I think that is the key word, consistently. Ernie said 82 degrees, no pollen, by the way.
Yes.
So we don't get no pollen today. But we do get 70 to 80 degrees this week.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love spring.
Yeah.
The only thing is the pollen. It can be a problem for many of us. I think my perfect day would have to be low 80s, plenty of sunshine, low humidity, and I totally agree about the pollen. No pollen would be fantastic. But any way you look at it, you know, you got to put up with the pollen because everything's turning green. You know, the flowers are blooming, the trees are budding, and that's what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with the tree pollen, and then that comes early in the spring season, and then we'll transition to grass pollen and eventually to weed pollen, the ragweed.
Yeah.
That really makes me sneeze. Yeah. So it's just something you have to put up with for Mother Nature turning everything green.
Well, it's just interesting because we were just dealing with some frost in
I
our
know.
area
Yeah,
on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And now we're dealing with a string of warmer days.
I will tell you that I think April can be a really weird month. It can be our more active, severe weather month. And it has over parts of the deep south and even here in our backyard. But also you get these swing temperatures. You get, you know, frost at night and then a few days down the road. And this past week is a case in point. Here we are talking about 80-degree weather. So we look at spring and even fall as kind of transitional seasons where the temperatures can be pretty dramatic up and down.
Right.
When you get in the summer, you get into June, July, and August, it's close to 90 with humidity about every day. It kind of gets redundant.
Yeah, well, this is definitely fresh, and I'm excited about it. I mean, how long? I think it was like January 1st where I was like, when is it going to be spring?
Yeah.
And now it's here, and now it starts to feel like it, and it's perfect as we head into the Easter holiday. You know, I won't feel bad about wearing, you know, a dress that doesn't have sleeves.
Yeah.
Or maybe a open toe shoe. I mean,
you know what my favorite attire is?
Shorts.
A raggy old shirt, t-shirt, and a pair of shorts.
Yes.
And some flip-flops.
Yes, I just wish it was warmer in here.
I know, it can be frigid in here.
It can get really cold in here. But yeah, I agree with you. My perfect spring day is just as you ordered it. You know, between 75 and 80, no humidity and no pollen. But when does that ever happen?
Never, ever.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here on our feed. Our Brian just checked in. I'm sorry, you just checked in, so I saw your name pop up. Let's see. Oh yeah, here you go. You said 78 to 85 is my best temperature with sun and no rain and no wind. No rain would be good too. Lakaya said 70s with clouds rolling in and out. So not a lot of sunshine, just kind of like, you know, partly sunny sky. I love that too. Diane Hudson said, I love between 70 and 80. Jessica Richards says 80 degrees plus is my favorite. Driving with the windows down on a nice warm day is my favorite. Yes. Let's see. Bobby said 75 degrees and sunny. Melody said, I enjoy temperatures in the mid-70s, breezy and sunny. So yeah, there's a lot of, you know, between 70 and 80 seems to be in everybody's wheelhouse.
Right.
But the conditions differ. Some people don't want a lot of sunshine. They want some clouds. Some people want some wind. But I think we all agree on no rain.
And I think a lot of people can agree on the pollen. Rain, let me explain my beliefs on this. A couple of days last week, we had some showers to come through. I took my car out of the garage and parked it in the yard so it would wash it off because I'm too cheap to go to the car wash.
Wow.
Ed's frugal, okay? But it did the trick. So I don't want rainy days either, but we have to have, you know, we got to water the gardens and the trees and those strawberry plants that are growing strawberries right now, and I can't wait for strawberry season. It's coming soon, but a little shower is good for getting rid of that pollen off your car.
Yeah, it's you know, rain is okay, but I was thinking more like thunderstorms.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Boy, I wish we could go. I was talking to some friends of mine that live in London, and I kind of knew the answer to this, but I knew that they really knew the answer. I said, do you guys have tornadoes in the United Kingdom?
I never
and they
hear
said,
about
no,
any.
They don't. No.
Is it
United
because
States. Well, it's just collision of very warm air coming in from the Gulf and chilly air, transitional season
Right.
being the spring. You still got chilly air coming down out of Canada. When they collide, you get upper level winds that are still pretty strong from the winter. All those ingredients come together to produce severe weather and possible tornadoes. Now, as we go into the summer season, we get more of what we call air mass thunderstorms. We get the heating of the day, and we get these popcorn or random thunderstorms to develop. Sometimes they can be severe, but usually our severe weather, we're right in the middle of severe weather season right now with the spring.
Which is even, I think, why we're enjoying this more.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like a chance of a rain or shower in the afternoon, not like a storm threat.
Yeah, well, we have no, and I've been looking at the extended models because I'll tell you what, we cover it very well here at News 2, but we do not like severe weather. It is not, there is nothing good about it, and it can be very dangerous as well. But it looks like, at least for the short term, we're moving into a pretty quiet weather pattern. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm crossing them both.
Yes.
Okay, we have another conversation since we are 1 week away from our tax deadline. We have a conversation that's already kind of taken off here on our feed about tax returns and things like that. So we'll jump on that in just a minute. First, let's get to our headlines. Well, the White House says President Joe Biden will be in Greensboro this Thursday pushing for his Build Back Better plan. The plan includes help for the economy, including free preschool, health care for older Americans, money for clean energy, and among other things. Congress did not pass the bill earlier this year. It's not clear where President Biden will visit when he arrives, but we'll keep you updated on WFMYnews2.com. It has been about a year since purple street lights started popping up around the Triad. Duke Energy says the unique hue comes from a factory defect. It causes the LED light to change from this regular tint to a deep purple hue, but they're not functional they are functional and not dangerous. The bulbs are under warranty, so the manufacturer is paying to change them out. If you want them replaced, you need to report it to Duke Energy. 100,000 Ukrainian refugees into the U.S. triggered Triad agencies to start getting ready and expand their programs. Church World Services of Greensboro has helped immigrants and refugees settle in Guilford County since 2009. WFMY News 2's Denise McMiller shares how the nonprofit is adjusting to respond to the refugee crisis.
According to data from UNCG, more than 60,000 immigrant refugee families have moved to Guilford County in the past 8 years. Even an officer with the Greensboro Police Department says that since the U.S. military has withdrawn from Ukraine, he's seeing more refugees in Greensboro than he has in his 19 years on the force. And he believes local law enforcement could do a better job connecting with them. Assistant Chief Thompson has met with more than 200 refugees from Afghanistan and Africa over the past few months. He's laying the groundwork for forming a cultural affairs program within the GPD. Thompson says he's attended cultural orientation events and is building bonds with resource providers who help refugees so he can then better educate his fellow officers.
We can then use those relationships to have a better understanding internally. We can bring those folks to the department. We can have meetings, trainings, where individuals that have been an immigrant, a refugee, come here, part of a different culture, can now educate the police department on those things.
World Church Services in Greensboro is a nonprofit that helps refugees resettle. With their help, 108 refugees have been able to rebuild their lives in the Greensboro area since 2021. It's a much larger number than in years past, and with the president considering welcoming Ukrainian families to the U.S., this could mean more changes for CWS, as they are one of 9 national resettlement agencies.
We will probably see Ukrainian refugees arriving through the U.S. refugee admissions program, but that probably won't happen for quite some time. That'll take a lot of resources to process those cases.
And CWS says only time will tell. But in the meantime, both them and the Greensboro Police Department will do what they can to make Greensboro a safe and welcoming place for refugees needing to start over.
All right, well, some of you are counting on every penny, every coin that will come back from your federal tax refund if you do get a refund. You might need to take care of maybe something you need. Maybe you want to splurge on something you've wanted for a long time. So this morning we're talking about your refund and how you're going to spend it if you get one. So experts say if you want to do yourself a favor, you should use your refund to pay off some debt. They say you'll save on interest, you can build your credit score, and they even say you might be motivated to make a list of your financial goals. Maybe you want to buy a house or send your children to college. Saving your tax refund might be the way to get started on that goal. So getting back to the question here, how do you spend your tax refund if you're getting one? Arlene said she plans on purchasing 4 new tires and paying some back bills. Anika said my $78 refund was just enough for a tank of gas. $78.
Yeah, there you go. I agree.
That's a good way to spend it.
Yeah, it is.
You know, a lot of people on the feed are waiting for their taxes to be processed in the state because of multiple delays that were both technical and I think people-oriented.
Right.
They were supposed to start processing them in April, and people are starting to get them, but I learned on the feed that the website says that it won't be until May 1st. So we'll double check on that, but if you're getting a refund, you know, how do you plan on spending it?
Yeah. Not getting a refund this year. Ed had to pay last year, and I had to pay a little bit this year. But I would say, for the most part, I've broke even the past couple of years, and that's what I really like to do. You know, as I've said, if you're so fortunate to get some money back and you're not really disciplined enough, you know, to save money for yourself, let the government save it for you. You know, they're not going to give you any interest. Of course not. They're not going to give you any interest.
Right.
They'll spend it and then, you know, give it back to you when you get your refund. I think it's healthier to get that money along during the year and try to break even on your taxes. So for the most part, the past couple of years I've broke even, had to pay just a little bit, but no big refunds for me or anything like that. You're giving free money to the federal government or even the state government. It can be either one. And you know, you're not drawing any interest. You could take that money during the year and maybe make some investments or save it into an account and make a little money. But the government's not going to give you anything for holding on to that money for you.
Yeah, we're still working on ours actually, and we started in February.
Wow.
Yeah, because we had a baby during the pandemic, and there were certain things, and I guess. Part of the plan that the Congress passed, you know, allowed parents with children certain, you know, amount of money, but then we had a child and didn't get that other, you know, certain number of bucks. So we're trying to figure out if that's going to be owed to us and if we can apply it somewhere or if we end up having to pay because of some other stuff. So we have a week to figure it out.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we have somebody to help us.
Yeah, and you know, that's good. I mean, you know, there is a deadline, obviously, and you want to get things taken care of by the deadline, but it's better to go through and consult somebody who is really good at this stuff and get all the tax breaks that you can get.
Right, exactly.
That's a smart thing to do.
Right, yeah. And then, you know, if you have a business, for instance, you know, you want to make sure that it's itemized, or you itemize your bill. So if you've paid, you know, for gas, mileage, and all those things, make sure you add in all those deductions because that can add up.
It really adds up. You would be amazed at how quickly it adds up. One thing that helps me break even, I give to charities, like to animal rescue groups here locally, and also I give a pretty good chunk to my my church. I believe in that 10%.
Yeah.
And I give that every year, and by doing that, that helps me to break even with my taxes.
And then you also feel good inside.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, both government and Ed feel good.
Yes.
All right, let's see here. What people are saying on the chat. Bobby Odom said that he owes the state this year. And it says, LeVar Jarrell said, IRS didn't get me this year, LOL.
Ooh, good.
Well, good. I'm glad you didn't get gotten. Or whatever that would mean. Let's see. R. Brian said, I paid them $10 last year.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Let's see. Couple of comments about the purple lights and going back here to the taxes. Oh, Andrea said, oh, this was the comment that Andrea Russell Anika made earlier. My $78 was just enough for a tank of gas.
Yeah.
LOL, that is so funny. Let's see, LeVar said my refund went straight into my savings.
Good.
Which is good, which is what they suggest you do with your refund, pay down on any debt. And then there was somebody out here that said that they don't have any debt, which is amazing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I like that.
Joanne Suttle said, don't have to do taxes anymore. I'm too old. Thankful, she said.
That's one good thing about growing old, right? I'll have to remember that.
Yeah, let's see. Jessica said she's probably going to get gas to mow the yard, and that's about all she can do.
Yeah.
Brian said, I got $11. I'm going to buy a medium pizza from Domino's. Just one topping is all he can afford.
Yeah, now there's somebody splurging, getting a refund and ordering a pizza.
And
now
a topping.
That sounds like something I would do. But you know, most of our followers this morning who are getting a refund are doing good things with the money and very helpful things, paying off debt and things like that, and that's really good. And you don't have the weight of those, those bills on your back. So I think that it's a good thing, but every once in a while you gotta splurge.
Get something you
want. Get a pizza
maybe.
or something.
If you can, for sure.
If you can handle it, yeah.
Tamrika, splurged a little. She said she got hers and had to buy clothes for her little one because he had hit a growth spurt. So that was kind of a necessary need.
Yes.
Let's see. Sean said he doesn't have any debt, which is awesome.
That's great.
And let's see. Oh, and Flash Electric says all of his goes back into the business, and he also reminds you that you can file an extension if you need it.
Yeah, if you need to. Yeah.
But you also have to make sure that you file that on time, which is Monday. Let's see. Jessica Richards says, with my business, you can write off everything, the power bill, the car, phone, even some meals. Nice.
Phew.
Melody said she used it to pay rent. And Rhonda said, refund, what's that? LOL. Trina also added, I'm waiting on my state check. I received my federal, which was enough to buy my son some shoes. So,
good deal.
All that, what was it? The tax credits that not tax credits, I'm just forgetting what it's called. I can't remember. Don't worry about it.
Anytime you can get a tax break, it's good,
Yeah.
And that's the reason you need to take your time, get a professional to maybe help you out, because, those pennies and nickels and dimes, they add up.
They sure do.
And you get your taxes done and you're surprised that you're getting a little refund.
I remember I was trying to write off my clothing because I need it for work. And I think I had to hit $2,500.
Yeah.
A year in clothing. And I'm like, who's doing that? I buy $19.99 dresses. I'm not spending all this money on clothes. So I couldn't write it off, but. Yeah,
my taxes are dirt easy to do. I have enough that I can itemize, with contributions and gifts, like I said, to the animal shelters and church and stuff like that. I remember back when I was in college, I thought I was a bigwig. And I did my taxes and did something wrong. $250 fine from the IRS.
Oh.
And I said then, I'll never do my own taxes again. So I don't mind paying a little bit. I've got a good accountant that doesn't charge me an arm and a leg.
That's interesting.
Like some of these services, but it taught me a lesson.
Right.
I can barely add 2 plus 2, okay? I don't need to be doing taxes.
Right.
I want somebody that knows what they're doing.
Well, there are people who will do them for you for free if you earn under a certain amount.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, tax preparers. And we have that information. Tanya did this whole big thing on She Wants to Know. So So look in the She Wants to Know section of our website where you can see like who will do your taxes for free. It does get tricky if you are a student loan borrower. So if you have a student loan that you're trying to repay and that's on your taxes, you have to file that and also have like a receipt of like how much you still owe. I mean, if you have kids, it gets a little bit difficult, especially if they're in college. I mean, it just becomes, I want a simple return.
You got to see if it's for you.
Yeah. Like I will never have a simple return again until I'm like Joanne and I don't have to pay anymore. All right. Thanks so much. It's been a great conversation that we've had, the 2 conversations. Now let's close out with another look at our forecast.
Let's do that. Are you excited about the warmer weather? I see those smiles. Yeah, how about upper 70s today? Sunshine, a few late day clouds. A little disturbance moves through tonight, but I don't think it's going to produce any rain, just some extra clouds. And then kind of sun and clouds Tuesday and Wednesday, warming up around 80 both days. Cold front moves through late Thursday, but it doesn't look as though it's going to have a lot of moisture with it. As a matter of fact, every new run of the computer models kind of dries it out even more, but we'll keep the showers in, a 40% chance on Thursday afternoon with maybe a rumble of thunder. And then we're back to dry weather on Friday. Weekend's a toss up, you know, that far out. Models are not agreeing. We put a low shower chance Saturday and Sunday. We'll clean that up for the weekend as we go through the week, so stay tuned.
All right. Well, with that, I mean, that's just a great way to end. You leave with a smile.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us on After GMS. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at 7:45 on the News 2 Facebook page. And if you're up even earlier, you can join us for the real thing on TV on News 2 starting at 4:30 a.m. We'll see you later, guys.